welcome into this week's episode of Play by Play. I am your host, Andy Horton, alongside my co-host, Jared Bergstrom, and this is episode number 138. And, we're going to talk about some NFL free agency, because that kicked off.
Jesus.
It just felt like it came about way faster than
I'm not talking about this. I guess I am talking about the speed of just everything that happened in like 2 days. It seemed like, I got a page and a half, and that was just the big names.
There's been a lot going on so far. We'll look at it team by team, maybe not every single team, but we'll look at things team by team and all of the big time deals. And then we will get into some college basketball, because it is college tournament time. And if you can't tell, ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot of brackets here.
You do. That's all the major conferences, and then I threw in the Boise State one.
Hey, the Pac-12 is a major conference, okay? So let's get that straight.
It's not there yet, but
not quite, but we'll be back. Anyways, and I mean, hey, I shouldn't hear you talking down on the new Pac-12, considering
I'm not.
You're a member of the new Pac-12, buddy boy.
Can't see. We won the West Coast last night after getting swept by St. Mary's in the regular season.
Was it against St. Mary's? I figured it was. So good job on that. But so anyways, that's what the show's about this week. And I guess we're going to go ahead and jump right into the NFL. Where do you want to start?
There's just between, on the way in, I got the notification that Cooper Kupp was released by the Rams.
So I knew that was going to happen.
I knew it was, but it was official. Which I guess that kind of makes sense with them picking up Davante Adams over the weekend, and he was that's DeAndre Hopkins. We'll talk about that. I'm trying to find Davante Adams. It was 2 years, 2 years, $26 million for the Rams. Well, hopefully he can stay healthy for
and I think
Matt Stafford.
I think that's a great deal, and for both him and them. I mean, Cooper Kupp, I still think he's got a fair amount left in the tank, but with that being said, you got rid of a guy who cost $28 million, something like that, and you brought in a guy, you said it was 2 years,
26.
26? Yeah, you brought in another good wide receiver who still could have some really great football left in him. We'll just have to see. You did it for half the money. So, and it's possible that Cooper Kupp is going to go and do something very similar with another team, because he's made a lot of money in his career. So if he wants to, go and win more, maybe he takes less money and goes to be on another really good team. But that has yet to unfold.
I don't even think there's been anybody that's really looked at him either.
I saw so the reason why I knew it was going to happen is I got a notification a couple days ago saying that if they couldn't find a trade partner, they would release him the day of the new league year, and
which I think that was an hour and 12 minutes ago.
Yes, exactly. So that's kind of why I saw it coming right down the pike.
Buffalo sure made a splash.
They've made a couple, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, they restructured and re-signed Josh Allen, 6 years, $330 million. And then they go and sign Josh Palmer from the Chargers.
Yep.
Michael Hoyt from the Rams, local kid, went to Oakwood.
Oh, hey,
and then Joey Bosa from the Chargers as well.
Well, so I like so much of what they have done so far, because they re-signed a lot of their own guys, right? They re-signed Josh Allen to 6 years, $330 million. They got Greg Rousseau. They were able to re-sign him for 4 years, $80 million, and I think that's a steal for him. Especially considering all the money that's getting thrown around at pass rushers right now.
No kidding.
Khalil Shakir, they were able to, he's like the number one wide receiver and safety blanket there. So, and they got him for a reasonable $15 million a year for 4 years, $60.2 million. And then They just kept going, re-signing some guys. We're able to also retain DeMar Hamlin, though we don't have the number for that one, and long snapper
Just 1 year.
Reed Ferguson. Yeah.
That's it.
And I'm a little surprised they only went 1 year with him because he played really well last year.
Yeah.
I remember that we talked about it like 2 years or a year or so ago when the comeback player of the year was up for grabs and a lot of people wanted him to get it, and I was like, no, how? He barely played. But this year he played a lot. He played, I think, every game. I might be wrong about that one. He played most of the snaps, and he played phenomenal. So I think he should have gotten it this year, but
Who got it this year?
I don't remember who did, but I do not think it was DeMar. But Josh Palmer, they needed a guy who could go out there and stretch the field vertically, and that's exactly what he does. And I don't think the price is too bad because 3 years, $36 million, so that's $12 million a year. That's the running rate for any kind of wide receiver just about nowadays. And then, like you said, Michael Hoyt, I did not know that he was from this area. But, I like him as a player as long as he's not dropping back into coverage. And I don't think that he'll be doing that as much with the Bills. That's something that the Rams did with him.
Joe Burrow got comeback player of the year this year.
Yeah, and I love Joe. But, I'm not going to say – maybe you can give two of them. I don't know.
I mean, you could do offense and defense.
Or offense and defense.
Because,
defense.
What a person that, like you said, he played a majority in every game, played a majority of the snaps. Yeah, that's a lot, but, it's not going to put up to what Joe Burrow put up, 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns.
He also did have, a really good season.
Yeah.
It wasn't just...
But like you said, I think you can divide it and okay, here's offense and defense because next year, you're going to have, right now the highest odds for that next year is Christian McCaffrey and Aiden Hutchinson. Unless Hutchinson probably has 20 sacks or whatever, McCaffrey runs for 1,500 yards, has another 1,000 receiving, that's probably going to go to him just because they go offense heavy on these awards.
Yeah, DeMar Hamlin had 89 tackles and 2 interceptions last year. Not like the world's most eye-popping stats, but he had a really good year. So.
I thought he had one of those picks returned for a touchdown. Maybe not.
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Still, regardless, he also had a fumble recovery too. So, he had an awesome year, for a safety. A couple of tackles for loss.
Yeah. Coming out of the safety system.
So it would have been cool to see him win it. So, but yeah, maybe like you said, maybe there's an offensive and a defensive. Anyways.
The signing of Bosa is huge because they just released Miller that same day to say, I think they saved, I forget how much, I didn't write it down, but they were saving a huge chunk of change with cutting Von Miller.
Okay, I missed that. And he actually played pretty well last year. So, But going and getting Joey Bosa, they might want to hide him until the playoffs and just...
So he don't get hurt?
Yes, exactly. So he doesn't get hurt. And then the 2 running backs, I don't know how consequential they'll be.
Darrington?
Yeah, Darrington Evans.
He's on there for a year or whatever. He's blank on my screen.
I know he played for the Titans. I don't know a ton about him. I know nothing about
Derek Forrest.
Yeah. I don't know anything about him. Larry O, I've always liked Larry O. He's been a nice player in the middle. I like the guy that the Bengals went and got, but I would have preferred to bring back Larry O. But we'll get to Cincinnati later.
B.J. Hill?
No, we re-signed B.J. Hill, and I'm happy with that. But no, there was another guy that we brought in from the Packers.
Oh, I didn't write that one down.
It's not a big deal.
Was it in the cusp of everything else going on?
I think it was.
Okay.
It was one that could easily be
overlooked.
Yeah, easily fall through the cracks. I guess maybe we'll talk about Baltimore real quick because they haven't done a ton. But the moves they've made are kind of important. They re-signed Patrick Ricard 1 year. Don't have the numbers on that one yet, but Ronnie Stanley, they were able to get him back before he hit free agency, so that's huge.
Got to protect Jackson.
Yeah, and he's one of the best in the league. It would have been crazy, or it would have been a huge hit to lose him. They haven't done a ton yet because I think they still got to
Signing
re-sign.
D-Hop's not a big one either.
Well, and I think they still. I was gonna bring that up, but
Oh.
I was gonna say I think they still got to re-sign like a lot of their own dudes. So I think they're trying to work on that right now. And then they did bring in DeAndre Hopkins for $6 million. He can. I don't think it'll be like, a big impact piece, but kind of like the Chiefs last year. He had a big game or two, had a few big moments. He'll still have some good games, but it's not the DeAndre Hopkins of 5 years ago. Not by
not
any
the
means.
Texans Hopkins.
No, not by any means. Or the first couple of years in Arizona before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. The the Cardinals went out and got Josh Sweat.
So they've been busy. They also they re-signed Baron Browning. I like it. He's a good piece from Ohio State a couple of years ago. Nice player. Zay Jones, they were able to re-sign him, and then like you said, they went out and got Josh Sweat for 4 years, 76 million bucks. I think that's a reasonable deal for getting Josh Sweat. And then Akeem Davis-Gaithers, they were able to scoop him up from Cincinnati for 2 years, 11 million. Again, I think that's a pretty reasonable deal. Like, I don't think they spent way too much money there. Jacoby Brissett, I guess a good backup piece for in case anything crazy happens with Kyler. I think they've had a not like an earth-shaking like free agency, but it's been good so far.
Mm-hmm. I think they're getting pieces that'll help them compete more in the NFC West next year.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons, they haven't really done anything big yet, I'd say. Skip over them. We talked about Baltimore, Buffalo, Carolina. Have they done anything? Not really. Not that stands out. They re-signed a couple.
So
J.C. Horn.
But that J.C. Horn money's crazy.
Yeah.
$25 million a year for a corner. I like J.C. Horn a lot, but that's... Whew. I do not know.
Andy Dalton's still making money.
Yep. Hey, man.
Get it.
He's a good backup, and I think that, I think he's got a good relationship with Bryce Young. I think after Andy Dalton came in and had a few good weeks, and then they went back to Bryce, I think that things went really well for Bryce.
Yeah.
And that I don't think Andy Dalton's is a bad mentor type of guy. Like, right? He gets his role, especially at this point, and I think he's all about trying to help young quarterbacks.
Yeah, he was there in Chicago for Fields' first 2 years, and I mean that was just a disaster.
I was going to say that didn't work out.
No,
but
because they never gave Fields the stuff he needed. Speaking of the Bears, we talked last week them getting Joe Thuney from the Chiefs. They traded for Jonah Jackson from the Rams, so they're shoring up the offensive line. And then they went and got...
Well, hang on. Them going and getting Trayvon Moehrig, talking about Carolina.
Oh.
You kind of skipped over the rest of Carolina. Them going and getting him, they might have the highest paid safety pairing in the league because they also have Bates. He's getting like $16 million a year. So between your two safeties, you're paying them like $31 million. So they better be good back there. They also went and got edge Patrick Jones. Not like a crazy signing, a very good player though that will be able to help beef up that defense. And also Trayshawn Wharton. I do not remember where he played last year. I am blanking. But another good player there at the nose tackle.
Denver. Oh, no, that's Evan Ingram. Why the heck did that come up?
He played for...
Chiefs?
Yeah, Kansas City.
Okay.
Had 6.5 sacks last year. 7 tackles for loss, 11 quarterback hits. So definitely good at working his way to the quarterback and helping stop the run and whatnot. Defensive end, 6'1", 280. Wow, that's crazy metrics. 6'1", 280. So, I mean, yeah, he's got to be more of an interior defensive line. I don't know why he was listed as a defensive end there. But, yeah, pass rush grade, actually really good when you look at PFF. 68.3. So he's not nearly as good of a run stuffer as what you would think. But he's very good at getting after the passer there from the middle of the quarterback, or from the middle of the offensive line. So I think Carolina has done some good stuff. I think that J.C. Horn money is crazy, but
yeah, we'll see if he's worth it.
I mean, he's a really good player.
Yeah,
but
$25 million a year.
That's a lot. Yeah. So, anyways, you were talking about the Bears.
Yeah, they went and shored up that offensive line, trading for Tooney last week, like we said, and then Jonah Jackson from the Rams this week.
Yep, still working to do that. They're going to need to do more than that, though.
But they're not. They don't really have him any offensive help, or they haven't gotten it yet.
Well, I mean, they got Rome Odunze, and they got Swift, right, as well. They got Cole Kmet there at tight end, and who's the other wide receiver?
I didn't know they still had him because they signed 2 more tight ends.
They got the old man. I think they got Cole Kmet.
They might. Oh, Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Keenan Allen. There you go. Oh, so, yeah, I didn't know that they went and got Big Bob Tonyan. And they went and added Drew Dalman, a good center. So they're doing a lot of work there on the offensive line. Now they are in jeopardy of losing, and maybe they're just going to let him walk. I don't know. At this point, I feel like they will, because how much money are you going to put into the offensive line? Letting Trevon, is it Trevon Jenkins? Or is it Tevin Jenkins? There you go. They're in jeopardy of losing him, and the Bengals are one of the teams that are trying to get him. Hopefully they can. That would be great. That would be a huge help because he's a guard that can definitely help shore up the middle of the offensive line for Cincinnati. But once again, we will get there here in a minute.
Yeah. And I mean, these are smart moves by Ben Johnson. I mean, I think it's finally worked. I mean, the offensive coordinator from Detroit coming over, and he's shoring up that offensive line to protect his quarterback and develop a running game there. Like that. I mean, they didn't have that great of a running game last year.
One with Ben Johnson, how has he been successful in the NFL as an offensive coordinator for the Lions? What do they have? A great offensive line.
Yeah.
So he's going back to his roots, what he knows best, what he knows works. And so if it works, I mean, I would feel really bad for Lions fans because you could go from being top of the division to having the Bears
go into the basement.
Having the Bears kick your ass all the time real quick. Because if Caleb is actually good, I mean,
he's taken all those trick plays and everything he had with Detroit over to there. So, I mean, I don't know who the new Lions OC is, but we'll see if that comes up with anything like that he had last year with him.
So, yeah, I like what the Bears have done so far, even though I don't like the Bears.
I was about to say, you don't like the Bears, so.
No.
Bengals, we talked about Higgins last week. I think we talked about Gesicki getting re-signed too. I think those were the only things they had done.
Yeah, I do like the B.J. Hill move. I think that's a pretty good number. Like, I don't think we're really overpaying him. He's been a good piece for us for a while. Joseph Asai, we had to bring him back just bare minimum for depth because it's first of all, we just need to get better on the edges of the defensive line anyways. But with not knowing on what's going on with Trey Hendrickson right now, like, are the Bengals just going to call his bluff and not trade him, or is he going to be able to find a trade partner that's willing to give up, a first-round pick and then pay him, $30 million or whatever. I don't know. So we'll see what all goes on with that. Even if we have Trey Hendrickson, we need more help.
Yeah, you need help
the
on the other edge.
So you can't just let a guy like Joseph Asai walk out the door, even though he hasn't been the most productive dude so far. Cody Ford, like bringing him back. He's a nice offensive line depth piece. Definitely don't want him starting. It says, I'm sitting here looking on CBS Sports. It says retained for Oren Burks, which is a linebacker. Well, he did not retain him. He came from Philly. Got him for 2 years, $5 million. I think could be an absolute steal because Nakobe Dean got hurt for Philly in the playoffs, and he came in and had 25 tackles, pick, forced fumble, pass deflection. Like he did, he had a very productive playoff run. And to be able to bring him in for 2 years, $5 million, that could be a steal and a nice piece for the next couple of years. Brought back Tanner Hudson, love that one.
The other two at the bottom, I don't know much about them.
So yeah, the Slayton guy, Sultan, however you say his name, he is from Green Bay, and I talked to my uncle about him. His PFF grade is not convincing at all. It's not very good. But I talked to my uncle about him, and he said he's a pretty good player. Not amazing, but a good defensive lineman. And the Packers have had a top 10 rushing defense over the last couple of years. So he's got to be part of the reason. And I have seen a little bit of his film. So the reason why he doesn't have the greatest PFF grade in the world, and it does make sense, is that when you watch him, like, if you're running at him, he will blow it up. But if you run around him,
he ain't moving side to side?
Not nearly as well. I mean, he can still make plays occasionally, but, the one thing that really hurt the Bengals last year was teams just running right up the middle. So trying to help get guys to be able to clog up the middle a little bit. I like it.
And they brought Pirine back.
Yeah. Whatever, I guess. I'm not big on that. I mean, I don't know.
It's like he went to Denver, and I don't think Denver really utilized him that much.
Yeah, no.
Didn't seem like it.
It was the fact that it's so little money. I'm not mad about it, but I don't know. That doesn't move the needle at all for me. He's a depth piece.
Browns,
maybe a third down back because he's a good blocker. Yeah, so the Browns have traded for Kenny Pickett, spent $160 million on Myles Garrett after he swore up and down, I will not be a Brown. I am not in the NFL to go from Cleveland to Canton. I want to win.
Well, then he saw the check. He said, I'm a Cleveland Brown.
Then they threw him $40 million a year, and he said, oh, okay.
Well,
I'm a Brown.
Max Crosby was the highest paid non-quarterback for a week.
Yeah, and by the way, thanks, Cleveland. You just made it a little bit harder to re-sign Jamar Chase. Because we promised him that he'd be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league.
Oh,
made it a little more expensive.
Ooh. I don't really, I mean, their signings, I didn't really have anything. I didn't really write down anything about them.
Yeah. The Browns are a yawn until they get something at quarterback.
Oh, they got Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, it's not. Yay, you got a new backup.
Well, no, Deshaun, I don't think he'll be ready week 1 because of that.
Kenny Pickett's not a starter, though.
I know.
Even if he is the starter, he's not a starter.
Let's see. Cowboys, they haven't really. They signed or retained Osa. Jesus. Do you know how to say that?
Nope.
They re-signed some defensive tackle for 4 years, $80 million, and that helps them. Kevontae Turpin was a big piece on more punt and kickoff returns for
He's
them.
also a really good receiver, though. Like
Yeah, when they finally started putting him out there more at receiver instead of just keeping him on special teams, they had to re-sign the punter because he's the best one in the league, averaging almost 52 yards a punt the last 2 years. So if you're not going to beat him on offense, you got to well beat him on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones they've signed, I didn't really write any of those down. Looking at their list.
The Javonte Williams thing.
That I saw that this morning. That's why I didn't write it down.
When I saw that, it gave me like 1% more hope that they weren't going to draft Ashton Genty.
I told Jim that this morning. He got pissed. He goes, "Damn it! Now we're not going to draft Genty." I was like, "I know you're going to keep Zeke, aren't you?" And he did that.
I hope. I hope.
That's it for Dallas.
Yeah. On to Denver. They have had a busy free agency so far, and I think it's been a good one. They were able to re-sign DJ Jones, 3 years, $39 million. I think that's fairly reasonable. It's only a few $1 million more than B.J. Hill, and I think he's better than B.J. Hill. So, Evan Ingram. It says once again, like some of their.
I know he retained. No, he was cut
people
from.
are in the wrong places. Yeah.
Giants.
No.
Jacksonville.
Yes.
Started in Giants.
Was he cut?
I thought he was.
I don't know. He might have just been a free agent. I don't remember.
Oh.
But regardless, also bringing in Evan Ingram, I love that for.
Yeah, because who was their tight end last year?
I don't remember, but I love that for Bo Nix because he's pretty sure-handed. I mean, he has had a fair amount of drops, but he's caught a lot of passes over the last 3-ish years down in Jacksonville, and maybe he's left his Butterfingers in New York.
Sorry, it was Adam Troutman, the UD guy was their tight end last year.
Yeah.
So, you go from a blocking tight end to actually a pass-catching tight end with that.
Mm-hmm. Going to help make that offense more explosive. Re-sign Jared Stidham.
I guess you got to have a backup.
Yeah, and like Jared Stidham, I think if Bo goes down for a short period of time, Jared Stidham's the type of guy that can come in and run things smooth enough. They might be able to win a couple of games, especially if you got a good defense. And by the way, they do. And speaking of defense, they are not done on defense.
No.
They went out and got Talona Fuanga. I hope I said that right. 3 years, $45 million. Safety from San Francisco. I think.
I believe so. I think he was on that list of people that got cut.
Yeah. And then they also went and got Dre Greenlaw from San Francisco.
San Francisco's pissing off their fans, cutting everybody.
I don't think they were all cut. Freaking.
Or releasing.
They didn't cut everybody. They just couldn't. They just weren't able to re-sign them before they went somewhere else, I guess. But I don't know. 3 years, $35 million. That feels reasonable for him. And then Fuanga, 3 years, $45 million. Matt Pearl, good offensive line piece, offensive tackle, like backup, probably considering the money. $7 million for 2 years. If that's not bad. And then Trenton Sherfield, that isn't really a needle mover. I think he's a good returner, though, if I remember correctly.
Ooh, on to the Lions. Retaining Derek Barnes and Levi Onwuzurike. They just needed help because defense was all injured last year, so...
Yeah.
And that's what ended up running into the playoffs. The defense injury bug just caught up with them.
Mm-hmm. And, well, when you look at everything they've done, it's all been on defense. DJ Reed, go get him for 3 years, $48 million. That's
the only one I knew out of those.
Roy Lopez and Grant Stroud. I don't know a ton about them either, but still, they're getting more bodies. This was very important for them because, like you said, it all came down to the fact that their defense was so beat up they couldn't do anything last year.
Packers re-signed their kicker Brandon McManus.
Yeah, and linebacker
Isaiah
Isaiah McDuffie. So the surprising thing here, the Packers don't often go and spend a ton of money on outside free agents. But this year, Aaron Banks.
Yes, this year they did.
4 years, $77 million, and corner Nate Hobbs, 4 years, $48 million. So the corner spot has been an issue, and Zaire Alexander might be on his way out the door. Not too sure about that, and they can always help to improve the offensive line, considering how much what's his name's gotten hurt over his early career. Love.
Oh,
so, not been the busiest, but they've
normally aren't.
Gotten some good players.
Yeah, Green Bay, like you said, has normally not been a big let's go make a move in free agency kind of team. Houston, on the other hand, trading for Christian Kirk from the Jaguars and C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Eagles. They're kind of getting. See, now that seems like a crowded wide receiver room. You've got Tank Dell. You've got.
But Tank Dell's hurt again.
Oh, he's not going to be.
He got hurt again. He just got hurt again, like within the last couple of weeks or something.
Oh. Okay, well then, so then you've got Nico Collins.
I'm pretty sure.
You got Stephon Diggs. Well, then I guess there's room for him now. And now adding Christian Kirk. Re-signing the defensive lineman for Mario Edwards, Derek Barnett, and Dare Anugawale. But going out, and then going out, they got that Sheldon Rankins for a year. I think that's going to be helpful for them on that anchoring on that defensive line. Let's see, anything else? No. I didn't really even know Braxton Berrios was still in the league. I haven't heard of anything from him in a long time.
So, yeah, no, my bad. He didn't get hurt again. But here's the thing. He tore his ACL, MCL, LCL, and his meniscus. And dislocated his knee.
Shit. Those are injuries you might not come back from.
So, it's just the fact that he did so much. I mean, that he ripped his knee apart.
Ugh.
I think I've hurt my knee a handful of times. And I have. Not all of those at once. That's crazy.
Ooh, on to Indianapolis. I mean, we re-signed Ashton Doolin. I do like that.
But he's not expected to come back until 2026.
Also, he's not even. Dang.
Yeah, he's not coming back this year.
I like the Colts re-signing Doolin. We needed to re-sign our backup center since Ryan Kelly left to Minnesota. We haven't even got to Minnesota yet, and I feel like Minnesota's...
Talk about being busy.
Jeez. Then we went and got Chavarius Ward from the Niners. I like that. That helps us at corner.
And Cameron Bynum, he's also he's gonna help out the back end.
And then we just signed Khalil Herbert, or not Khalil. Was it Khalil Herbert? I just got the notification. Who was it?
Bynum had 96 touchdowns and 96 tackles and 3 interceptions last year. It was really good for the Vikings.
Let's see if I saw it, but who did they get?
What, you guys just got someone else?
Yeah, okay, it was Khalil Herbert. We just signed him like half an hour ago. And then Daniel Jones. On to Jacksonville.
I love how you just skipped over the Daniel Jones thing.
Well, like I told you yesterday when you texted me about it, I think our offensive line is a better situation for him than what it was that last 2 years in New York. So I guess if we can keep him upright, he can try to get it down the field to Pittman or
If
Pierce.
he plays, because like I'm assuming your guys are still going
I'm
with
assuming
Anthony
we'll go
Richardson.
with Richardson, but I mean,
He'll get hurt.
well, not just that, but I mean, he got benched twice last year, and
That's
we
true.
brought in Flacco, so who
That's
knows? Jacksonville, they've been busy. Signing offensive lineman Patrick McCarry. They signed Jordan Lewis. Dwayne Brown left Washington.
Yeah. But you can kind of see that this kind of is a problem, though. You signing this many players means that you probably messed up in the draft, and boy, have they. I thought
I
they were
don't
gonna
see
be
anything
their
on
way
there
up.
that helps protect Trevor Lawrence, except for
Patrick
McCarry.
Yeah, they could use some extra help there.
Yeah,
Maybe a couple of those tight ends are
they're going to be blockers on the end.
are gonna block a lot. Yeah. Well, and then there's Chuma Ogda down there at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah. So they got another guy.
Chiefs. They retained Nick Bolton and Hollywood Brown, franchise tag Trey Smith, so that won't have any numbers on it. But nothing. What does ERFA mean? Next to the punter, do you know what that means? I know RFA is restricted free agent, so I don't know what E means. European.
Exclusive?
Oh, that sounds better than what I said.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Chiefs have lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Haven't done a ton so far. I thought that Christian Fulton was already a Chief, though. Is that another one?
Well,
where
it's
in
not the
wrong
first
spot?
time they've been wrong.
Is that another one where it's already in the wrong spot?
He was with the Chargers last year.
Oh. Well, at least he was still in the West. So I wasn't that far.
Vegas. Going out and getting Geno Smith. I mean, they tried to get Sam Darnold, but I think the Seahawks, we'll get to that in a second, Seahawks just paid him too much.
And they also tried to get Stafford.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
They were 0 for 2 on quarterbacks they wanted.
Yeah, and hey, I think Geno's a huge upgrade over whatever it was last year. Aiden McCullough.
Aiden Connell or O'Connell or something,
and,
yeah.
And whoever else got to play quarterback for him. It's definitely an upgrade. But now you got to get him help because
They don't, I mean, you got Brock Bowers.
I was going to say,
I can't name a.
Jacoby Brissett. Actually,
Myers.
Jacoby Myers, yeah.
Yeah, you got to get him help.
That's all I really know.
They did go in. They signed Kappa from the Bengals.
And he's not been very good.
Yeah,
Like for the Bengals over the last couple of years. He hasn't been terrible, but definitely hasn't been great either. Jeremy Chin, they were able to go get him 2 years, $16 million.
you saw they tried to make a deal to get DK too.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh I think offered just too much for it because that would have been insane. You get Geno Smith and DK Metcalf back with Pete Carroll again. We're staying in the West with the Chargers. Retaining the Khalil Mack must have just came through.
No, that's
After-
a couple days ago.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, and my uncle, he was talking to me, and he was like, "Yeah, I think that's one of the guys we should go after. Not at that money though. I think that's crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
$18 million for a guy that old, and I mean, he did have a good year last year, if I remember correctly, but
He's just old, like you said. He's just old. I did like the two pieces they got while you're looking whatever up. I did like them getting Dante Jackson and Najee Harris.
40 combined tackles, 6 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries. So, I mean, yeah, he had a good year, but he is
not worth $18 million for 1 year. Not a.
I'm surprised it's not telling me how old he is. Where? Up 34. There you go.
That's old for a tackle or edge.
We're getting $20 million, that's for sure.
I was kind of surprised that, I didn't really know Harris was going to be out the door in Pittsburgh. But for only 1 year, I think they're going to get their worth with him because he doesn't have to be an every down back.
Well, and I don't know, I feel like there's been, especially because I got a lot of Steelers fans that are friends, they all liked Najee Harris, but they felt like, I don't know, sometimes he looked for contact and not for holes. And
my cousin said same stuff, and he's a Steelers fan.
And
he was pissed off at them all last year.
So it's like, how big of a loss is it for he's a good player, but if you're just trying to hit people,
you're not going to last long at the running back
and not pick up yards. I mean, the point is to move the ball down the field and score points.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to do that if you're looking to
hit people. If you want to hit people, be a linebacker. But yeah, I liked everything else that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Not letting T.R. Tart leave. I think that's a good
still
move.
think they need another piece on that offensive line to help protect Herbert, because you saw.
It's still early.
Yeah. And, Harbaugh will do his magic in the draft. They went and got Joe Alt last year, and he was a phenomenal piece. But they gotta build off of that, either to the left or to the right, whichever way.
I'm sure you saw that Aaron Rodgers was released.
Oh, he officially got released?
Officially,
okay. Yeah. We will talk about that.
$49 million in dead cap.
God. I wonder how much. Well, no, I don't think the Adams would have been that much of a hit cap for him, but.
Oh no, not nearly.
49 and a half? Ooh. Where the hell is he going to go? I have an idea of where I think he's going to go.
New York or what's the other team that I was hearing him talk about? Where were you going to say?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Okay. Because Pittsburgh, the Giants and the Steelers don't have a quarterback on their roster right now.
And that's where most people are talking about him going, one of those two. So we'll see what goes on with that. I don't know if it would be a good move for either team, but the Giants are just a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Got to get something going somewhere for them.
The Rams, they were able to hang on to Matt Stafford, and I didn't know they had Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Then they went and signed Devontae Adams, and then they also got
2 years, 46. Not 26. So that's not nearly as reasonable. But
then that changed because Adam Schefter reported at 26.
They are saving a little bit of money, though. So, did he really?
Yeah, unless they reworked it or did something else. I don't know. Maybe 26 was guaranteed.
Maybe he got the tweet wrong. And then Poona Ford, I like that. 3 years, $30 million ish. He came from San Francisco, right? Or no, the Chargers. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. I didn't mean San Francisco.
Oh, so he doesn't have to sell his house and move.
Yeah, no, he just went from one team to the other.
Same commute to work and everything. Just go to the other side of the stadium for that locker room. Dolphins. I didn't have anything wrote down about the Dolphins.
Hang on.
We just got to get down to Minnesota because they talk about everything they did.
Yeah, nothing really crazy with the Dolphins.
But Minnesota, I wonder if they knew, before they actually moved on from Sam Darnold, that they were going to, and that's why they started off going I mean, you got
They definitely did.
I
mean, they came out
signed Will
swinging.
Freeze to guard 5-year, $88 million. You signed Ryan Kelly from the Colts, 2 years, $18 million. I mean, you're shoring up. I mean, you've got both of those are multiple-time All-Pro at their position, and then they go on the other end and they get Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave.
Yeah, they've been busy. Adding Ryan Kelly at center also doesn't hurt. He's another good player. Isaiah Rodgers, a guy who he's traveled around the league a little bit, if I remember, but he's another dude, very good defender.
Let's see. He has been.
Oh, was he with the Eagles last year?
Yeah.
Well, hey, good for him.
Trying to figure out where all he's, like you say, he has been a journeyman.
Yeah, he played for Indy. Oh, and Philly. There's only 2 teams.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he's moved around more than that. So yeah, they're.
Didn't get the most playing time last year, but.
Well, not when you had.
That's right. He got suspended for a whole year for gambling. Remember that?
No, I did not.
You remember y'all had like half it, like 3 or 4 defenders that all got in trouble?
Oh, I didn't realize
he was one of those guys. Yeah.
Dumbass.
So yeah, I guess he's back in the league. That's cool. I always thought he was a very good player.
New England?
I like the fact that they re-signed Austin Hooper.
I didn't really write down any of those. I didn't really see
So I feel like they got some good pieces, but I also feel like they overpaid for some of them. Harold Landry, like the sack numbers look good, like they look pretty good, but he's actually kind of struggled to actually like consistently get pressure and stuff. Robert Spillane, that's good. I like it. I just feel like they spent so much money. Morgan Moses, he's a very good offensive lineman. Should help protect Drake. Chris Tonga, I mean that's a good value move. Carlton Davis, he's a dude that I've liked for a long time, but I mean, shoot, like I said, I've liked him for a long time. He's only 28, so he's not like out of his prime or like over the hill or anything yet. But so I just feel like that's a lot of money for Carlton Davis. That's what, $60 million? I had to get back down there to where it is.
Just $20 million a year. They signed Matt Collins. I mean, they needed help at the offensive weapons side of the thing because I don't.
Yeah, so that'll help out a little bit. Like Matt Collins is a it's a good like 3, like the third wide receiver. But you know, they'll find somebody in the draft, I think, to help out there a lot. And I've heard a lot of people try and connect them to Travis Hunter. So maybe they get 2 and 1 because they're high enough, right? They get a very high pick, I'm pretty sure. So the thing is here about New Orleans, I don't understand how they are able to keep spending money. They've been over the cap for like 5 years, and they just spent
cap just keeps getting better.
$50 million to Chase Young, $30 million to Juwan Johnson, which I like Juwan Johnson. $10 million a year seems like a little much. Dante Pettis, like him. His older brother went to Boise State. And Justin Reed, that's another one of the guys that I was talking about the Chiefs. You know, like I feel like the Chiefs lost a fair amount of dudes.
The Patriots are 4. I know you asked about the draft, but
so maybe they could get Travis Hunter.
Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots. So how I think it'll go, it's looking like it'll go, it's probably going to go Cam Ward 1. So that takes a quarterback off. So now you got the other two fighting for quarterbacks between the Browns and Giants. And it's probably if the Giants don't get, what's his name, then they'll probably get a quarterback at the draft right there. Rodgers. I couldn't think of his name for a second. And then, did you say anything about the Saints signing Justin Reed?
I said that's another one of those guys that the Chiefs
Chiefs
lost. Yeah, another big piece because they lost him. They lost Ward. Tooney. I mean, they traded
D-Hop.
him, but yep, D-Hop. So there's been some moves going on.
Giants, they re-signed Tommy DeVito, so they do have a quarterback on the roster.
Yep.
But that's it. I mean, Darius Slayton, got to have somebody to throw the ball to him.
I like the Javon Holland signing. You know, they don't have a lot of good players, so they got to give the money to somebody. This might be a little too much for him. He is a good player, though.
Jets.
James Hudson, he's a good offensive lineman. I like that move. Stone Forsythe, another guy that, you know, like, they're not great players. They can help elevate your offensive line a little bit.
Let's see, the Jets retained Jamie Sherwood. I don't really know his numbers from last year. I didn't really write down the ones that were re-signed. I just did the new signings.
He had 154 tackles and 2 sacks last year.
Oh, my God. Then they go out, they get Justin Fields. 2 years, $40 million. They got to get some. Well,
you know
they
what
put
I
Tim
said?
back with Garrett Wilson.
You know what I said when that happened?
What?
Oh, well, there you go. His career's over.
Oh. Go to the Jets to end your career.
Yep. It's kind of sad because I always thought that Justin Fields could have been good, but I mean, he's just not getting himself in advantageous situations for offensive or for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like he was drafted by the Bears. He goes
with
to
the
the
defensive
Steelers.
coach.
Yeah, he goes to the Steelers where that could have actually done something. You know, something could have happened there, but they didn't have a good offensive coach. And then now he, for the first time in his career, gets to decide where he gets to go. And he said, I'll take the money. All right, cool.
He's trying to get the bank account growing because he ain't going to be lasting long because they ain't got no offensive line.
I guess.
Where are we at to now? Eagles. Did they just trade Kenny Pickett for Dorian Thompson-Robinson?
Yes.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
What the hell?
That doesn't make sense at all to me. But
who do you say won that trade?
But he is more like, Cleveland by a mile.
Right.
But he is more he is more Jalen Fields type.
Okay.
I said Fields.
I wasn't going to say anything.
My bad. He is more Jalen Hurts type.
Okay.
You know, of a player, smaller, faster, athletic. So, I guess you're kind of getting a backup that's closer to the starter. I mean, that's got to be the thinking, in my opinion. I don't know. And then re-signing Zach Bond, like that move, $53 million, and he was, you know, the best linebacker in the league this year. Saquon Barkley extended him an extra 2 years for $41 million, making the running back great again. Mm-hmm. Cheers to you, brother. I love running backs. So,
Pittsburgh traded for DK Metcalf and then signed into a 5-year, $150 million contract. Good. Ain't got a quarterback to throw it to him right now, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm wondering, who are they going to go get? I don't know.
They signed Darius Slayton, 1-year, $10 million deal. That's about it. Niners. didn't really do anything retaining.
Yeah, I know. Everyone walked out the door.
Oh, yeah. Then you go and sign Luke Farrell to 3 years, $20.2 million. I mean, you kind of got your tight end spot with George Kittle.
Oh, real quick, I'm sorry. Did you say anything about Donald Parham?
Just that they signed him to a one-year deal. But
So I actually really like a bunch of these moves that the Steelers did. Sorry, I was checking my notifications to see if
anything else
came in,
happened?
and I kind of spaced out for a second. I love everything that the Steelers have done, pretty much. I don't know a ton about Ryan McCullum, but Donald Parham, he's a good blocking tight end, and he can go out and catch some passes here and there. A good backup for Freiermuth.
Gainwell was he Philly last year? Or was he Seattle?
He started in Philly. I don't remember where he was last year. But that's another good just backup running back.
Philly.
He was still in Philly? Okay. Well, he's a good piece that, you don't want him to be your starter, but if your starter gets hurt and he's got to
feel like he's their starter
play
now,
a game
though,
or
isn't
two, they'll go and get
he? Oh,
somebody.
yeah, but I mean, right now, yeah.
But we don't play games right now, Jared. So, Malik Harrison, like that too. That's another Buckeye linebacker, isn't it? Yeah, he's another good player. And
All the Buckeyes just go to Pittsburgh.
Darius Slay, that's not a bad deal. And I'm mad that Cincinnati didn't try to go after him. Or maybe they did, but I wanted him.
Give you 1 year, $9 million. Oh, Pittsburgh offered another $1 million.
Whatever.
Yeah, Niners, they let a bunch of people walk. Then, like I said, I mean, we signing Luke Farrell to $20.2 million when you got George Kittle already on your roster. I mean, Kittle doesn't come out of the game unless he's hurt.
Yeah, I thought that was.
They got Demarcus Robinson from the Rams, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was an overpay. They obviously know football better than I do over there in San Francisco, in the front office. But
John Lynch, I'm not going to argue with him.
When the Bengals went and signed Mike Gesicki for 3 years, $24 million, I was happy because I like Mike Gesicki. But at the same time, I was also like, so wait a minute. We don't know what's going on with 3 of our 5 best players. We have no clue. It actually might be 3 out of our 4 best players. We have no clue what's going on with Jamar Chase, who still needs that deal, and he's just coming up for it. We say we're trying to re-sign him, but he could also get traded because the tag and trade is always a possibility. And then Trey, he wants more money and he has the most sacks in the NFL over the last 2 years. So he's kind of worth it. He is 30, so he could be getting on the wrong side of 30. He's done a lot for us, though. But anyways, to the Mike Gesicki point, I like Mike Gesicki, but we paid him $8 million a year, and you're not saying, and $8 million couldn't, a year couldn't get one of those deals done? Either Trey or T. And those guys are way more important. So I don't know. It's frustrating. And so, yeah, I kind of feel like there's a lot of guys that San Francisco's like, wait a minute, hang on. This guy had 12 catches for 67 yards last year.
Where was he at?
Why are we paying him Jacksonville? Why are we paying him $20 million? When we had a lot of guys that have already walked out the door, and it would have been nice to keep a couple of them.
Seattle retained Ernest Johnson and Jaron Reed. I feel like they needed to keep those on the defensive side. Then they go out, get Sam Darnold.
Trying to Marcus Lawrence, help make that defense a little bit better. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. And then, hey, that's not a bad price for Scandling now, seeing they don't have a receiver on their roster outside of JSN.
Is that true? That's the only one.
Yeah, because they cut Lockett and traded Metcalf.
They only had 4? Or they only had 3? They had to have more than that.
Hold on. Oh, that's right. They had that Bobo guy. And because we looked at this last week when
Was it? It was definitely very thin, that's for sure, now that I'm thinking about it.
Jake Bobo and Kobe White.
And Jalen Darden.
I did not click on Kobe White. Damn you, ESPN. So that, yeah. So they needed that. Who's their tight end? Oh, Noah Fant. All right. On to Tampa. They just re-signing pieces. Oh, I didn't see they got Hassan Reddick. Ooh, that'd be big for them.
1 year, $14 million. I don't think that's too bad.
No.
Like, it's a little steep. I think the price might be a little steep, but considering they didn't commit to him long term, I don't hate it.
I don't know really anything about Anthony Nelson. You?
No.
All right. And a punter. All right. Tennessee, they did make a couple good moves. Xavier Woods was huge for them, I feel like, because he played every snap for Carolina last year on defense. Started all 17 games and played every snap.
Also went and got Van Jefferson, who is another number 3 wide receiver, not a world beater, but they need all the wide receiving help they can get there.
Yeah. Sorry, mayonnaise boy.
And I like Dan Moore. I think he's a good NFL player. How the hell is he making more than Ronnie Stanley? That one might be the overpay of overpays this year. That's crazy.
Year, yeah.
That's crazy. Cody Barton, good linebacker. Got him for a fair deal.
All right, are we on to the last one?
Yeah,
Washington?
I tell you what, I think there's been way less dumb, like stupid,
money being thrown around.
crazy, money like getting thrown around. There's guys that may be getting a little bit too much money here or there,
but not off the charts back in the Brinks truck.
Some years it's like, what? How are all these guys getting all this money? And it's not like that this time.
Washington, they are making a case to try to win the NFC East this year. Going out and getting Debo, getting Laramie Tunsil.
Re-signing Bobby Wagner.
Yep. Re-signing Ertz.
And Marcus Mariota. I like him as a good backup. Yeah, I don't know how much more Zach Ertz. I'm sorry. I just was looking at Tressway, and I just the two names kind of combined in my head somehow. But Zach Ertz, I don't know how much he's got left in the tank.
Hey, if he can go get another $6 million this year.
But man, he's good. Like year in and year out, he's just like when he's able to be healthy, he is very good.
Yeah, and he's been around the league. He was in Philly. He was in Arizona. Okay,
he's been in the league for a long time too.
Yeah.
They also re-signed my guy John Bates. It doesn't say the money, but that's a Boise State guy, and he's a good backup tight end. Good blocker and stuff too. Tressway, their punter, and a very beloved member of that team. The fans love him. I don't exactly know why, but he's been there for a while. And so go Tressway. And then they signed Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Just another dude that left San Francisco right out the door, and another really good player at that.
All right, that does it for NFL. That took an hour.
Yeah, there is a lot there. And there's still more moves to be made.
Oh, yeah. Haven't really got anything across the thing from Shefty while we were doing the show, but there will be more made, and then draft will be coming up in a month. Ooh.
My bad.
All right, so now it's on to conference tournament time. And is there any conference you want to start off first? I know we're going to probably have to run through them a little bit.
No, we can start wherever.
All right, let's go to the Mountain West first. Because that was the second one on top. Well, first on top when I was talking about it. All right, so let me see who won San Jose.
Oh, hey. Okay, so real quick before we go, the Lion, or excuse me, not Lions. I'm sorry. The Titans just got Kevin Zeitler. So the new offensive line for the Lions is as such: Dan Moore, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry, Kevin Zeitler, and C.J. Latham. You know, it's pretty good. Like they've definitely turned things around there on the line in the offensive line category. The Titans have this offseason.
All right, so Mountain West. San Jose won their game this morning against Wyoming. Not that that really matters because they got to go up against New Mexico, and they'll probably get blown out in that game. Nevada is taking care of business at the end of the game against Fresno State, so Nevada will be moving on in that one. And then UNLV I will take to probably handle Air Force because Air Force is not good at basketball.
Hang on. I was still looking at the thingy. I gotta
Mountain
find.
West. Over there, right in front of you.
Oh, is this? Oh, okay. Sorry, there's a lot of brackets over here. So where were we? I was checking Shefty.
I was
like,
recapping the first round games from today, so we're kind of into the second round. So you got New Mexico against San Jose. I got New Mexico moving on.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm going to take Boise over San Diego State.
Me too.
I will take Colorado State over Nevada.
Yeah, Colorado State, they just knocked Boise State off the other day, and they've typically been pretty good.
I picked Boise State in that game. Granted, that wasn't the only one in that parlay that I lost, but
yeah, don't blame us.
No, I'm going to take Utah State.
Well, I was talking about out of the first round.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Utah State probably. Yeah, they've been very good this year.
All right, back up
This
top.
new Pac-12, I gotta say, the new Pac-12 is going to be a very good basketball league. If we can also somehow pull in UNLV, I've heard, just a quick tangent about the new Pac-12. I have heard that the 8th full-time member is Texas State. It just hasn't been announced yet. They're still trying to work some stuff out.
Okay.
But there's this other podcast that I like to watch from time to time. They cover West Coast sports called the Big Mountain Podcast or something like that. And the guy said his sources say that it's done.
Right.
They're just waiting for it. And that's huge because that gets the conference into the Texas market a little bit further out east, opens up a new time window, and opens up more money opportunities. So, hey, let's also go get Memphis too. Why not? Let's keep going east. Anyways.
Back up to the top. I want to pick Boise, but New Mexico, the handful of games I've watched.
So good this year.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm taking New Mexico. And then
Me
on the
too.
bottom, I'm going to take Colorado State.
You know what I said? I'm taking New Mexico. I'll go with the heart. And I will say Boise because we probably need to win it to get in the tournament.
Yeah. Well, right now they're kind of on that cusp of the play-in.
Very close.
It is.
And I don't want to go back to UD because we'll lose again.
And then I'm going to take New Mexico to beat Colorado State in the championship.
I'm going to go Boise because...
You need it.
Yeah, we need it. If we're going to have a chance. Okay, which one's next?
A10? Sure. That was the next up
Go
on
right
top,
to
too.
yours.
Let me see. Did any A10 games happen today? I already filled it. Davidson beat Richmond, and Fordham upset Rhode Island. That was a big shock. 15 taking out the 10. UMass and LaSalle are playing now. I will probably take LaSalle. Tomorrow's games, I'll take Duquesne over St. Bonnie.
Isn't Woj at St. Bonnie? He's like the GM? I think that's where he went.
Was it St. Bonaventure? I know it was somewhere in the A10. It might have been them.
I think it is St. Bonnie.
All right.
I'm going St. Bonnie for Woj.
St. Louis and Davidson. I'll take St. Louis. Fordham and George Washington. GW. And I'm going to take St. Joe's over LaSalle.
I'm going to go UMass.
All right. All right, now back up to the top.
For every game in this tournament that UMass wins, Jared has to watch 10 minutes of Revolutionary War history.
Oh, shit. Hopefully they lose the first game then. Let me check the score to see. They are tied at 60 with 7 minutes left. I'm going to take VCU over Duquesne. VCU, they've just, I know you probably don't watch much or pay much attention to the A-10, but they've just been, only lost one game at home this year. So I'm taking the I think they're the Rams.
I don't know. I remember their Havoc because of the coach. I remember that was his thing.
Shaka Smart.
Shaka.
I'm going to take Loyola over St. Louis. Sister Jean still alive.
Is she really?
102. God, I don't want to live that
St.
long.
Louis.
I will take George Mason.
I do.
Over George Washington.
Yeah, same.
All right, well, you last smile. You taking UMass again?
Yeah.
All right, I have Dayton losing that game too.
Yay! At least we're on the same page there.
VCU over, I have them beating Loyola.
I'm picking a team that has 12 wins on the season.
Which game?
No, I'm talking about UMass.
Oh.
They have 12 wins on the season.
Get hot in tournament time, you keep it going.
They have one player on the roster that shoots over 33% from three.
You gonna change your UMass picks now?
Nope.
Okay.
But I should have looked into that first. It's okay, though.
All right. I got VCU winning it all over George Mason.
I think we have the same.
All right. All right. Where are we going next?
Big Ten's the next one that I see.
All right. I got it right here. Let me make sure. I don't think we missed any games. So, actually, let me make sure Northwestern went final before I say anything.
Northwestern is final. They won.
Okay. I'm going to take Ohio State to beat Iowa. They're playing now. And I'm going to take Rutgers to beat USC.
Only sport I can actually root for the Buckeyes in. And I'm going to go USC.
You just don't like the Rutgers at all, do you?
R-U, rah, rah, something, something. That's a
I forgot
dumb
that's why you
fight
don't like
song.
him.
But no, Desmond Claude, ex-Xavier player, plays for USC.
Oh, I did not know that.
I do.
All right. Back up top, I'm going to take Indiana over Oregon. I'm
going to go with Oregon.
Okay. I will take Wisconsin over Northwestern.
Yeah, it sounds right.
I'll ride with Ohio State again. They need to win a couple games to. Right now, they're currently, according to Joe Lunardi, the last team in. So I think they need to win a game or two to really put them into the tournament and not really waiting on Selection Sunday to see if they got to travel down 75 to play in the first 4. And then I'm going to take Purdue over Rutgers.
Travel down 75.
70.
I was gonna say, what are
Shut
you
up!
talking about?
I got my highways mixed up. Shut up! We'd be going the wrong way if I was driving.
Yeah, we would be. Yeah, Purdue and Rutgers. Yeah, I think I gotta go Purdue.
I thought you had them in USC.
Or yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I was looking at USC and I still said Rutgers.
Back up top, I'll just say it now. This is Michigan State's to lose.
Feels like Michigan State kind of been coming along as the season's come along.
Yes.
Which hasn't been the case like a lot here lately.
No, normally they're just good all year. This team had to build their way up. I'm going to take UCLA over Wisconsin. And that's where the Buckeyes season will end. I got Maryland beating them.
Season will end or regular season will end?
Well, that tournament will end. I'm hoping with 2 wins that in the Big Ten, that could get them in there.
I'm picking the Buckeyes.
Oh. And then I'm going to take Michigan over Purdue. I love what Dusty May has done with Michigan this year.
Don't let the Buckeye fans hear you say that one.
It's not the same for basketball as it is in football.
I heard Jared said that he loves Michigan.
I did not say that.
That's what I heard. Jim, you heard it too, buddy.
Bullshit. I'm going Michigan State over UCLA.
I bet my dad heard it too.
No, he didn't.
I bet he did.
I bet he didn't. So you got Ohio State playing Michigan in the semifinals.
Yep.
Who do you got winning that game?
Oh, I got Michigan.
Okay. And then
I don't know if I would ever pick Ohio State to actually beat Michigan.
No, you won't. Ever.
And even when I didn't think they had a chance, I still picked against them in the big game.
And then I got Michigan State beating Michigan in the Big Ten finals. Well, the Reds lost to the Rangers.
I got Michigan.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So you don't want to. I mean, Michigan lost to them both times by like 17 and 19.
Izzo needs like one more loss before.
That's true, because like when
time.
he goes through and just goes through, like the last time he'll lose to Middle Tennessee State again.
Yeah.
Where are we going next? Which one's next in front of you? SEC.
Okay.
All right, the only games that have won final, Arkansas beat South Carolina, so Coach Cal trying to get back into the tournament. And then Vanderbilt just beat Texas. Go away.
It's so weird having all these SEC teams being good.
I know, and I mean you have Auburn and Florida, who are probably going to meet in the championship of the SEC. One of them's going to lose, and they'll both probably still be number 1 seeds overall in the tournament. But let's get through this. I will take Mississippi State over LSU, and I will take. Has Oklahoma ever really been good at basketball? I'll take Georgia.
They had Blake Griffin.
Since then.
They had Buddy Hield.
But I mean, were they? I mean, yeah, he was good. But I mean,
they had Trae Young.
I forgot about Trae Young. All right, there.
That's 3 guys. 2 of them were superstars. 1 of them was a college superstar. Anyways.
Back up top, I'm gonna take Arkansas to beat Ole Miss.
You know, maybe you know, because you watched more college basketball than I do. What happened to Texas?
I don't know. I don't know if they had people transfer out after last year, because I thought they made a decent run last year.
Yeah, I think they were in the Sweet 16 last year or something.
I believe so. But I don't know if they just, between graduated and then just losing people in the portal. Ooh, I just looked at Joe Lenardi's updated brackets. Are you sure you're not going to go to UD Arena?
Are we both going to be there?
Xavier and Ohio State?
Oh, Jesus. And then
So you're 1-1.
Boise State's going to get there,
You're
too.
1-1 seeing your teams in UD Arena.
So I only went to the Wright State game. That's the only one I've actually been to.
Oh, I thought you went to the Boise State game.
But I've seen Boise State lose there twice. I saw
When was the other time?
the first time, and then like a year or so ago. It was like the first or the second year of the thingy, because UD was in the
Yeah, that's the only time I knew they've played Boise State.
and then UD was, and then Boise State was in the first four like 2 years ago.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. They played.
Yeah, we didn't play.
I don't know why I thought you
UD,
meant like playing
but-
UD in the regular season.
No.
Let's see. I said Arkansas. I'll take A&M over Vandy in the second round.
I had A&M over Texas.
I told you Texas lost already.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you don't care. He's still taking Texas.
Yep.
I'm going to take Mississippi State. Just that last game of the regular season, I saw Missouri play, and Kentucky just beat them up and down the court so badly. It's like, God, you. And sometimes you get these teams that play in that first round, they get momentum winning a game or two in a row. They can upset some people. I'm going to take Kentucky to beat Georgia. I'm going to take Auburn to beat Arkansas.
Oh. See, I had Arkansas winning.
If Arkansas had one more player, I would take it because I think Coach Cal could get it done. But I think Auburn's just too tough. Hell, Auburn's team is older than older than the Thunder's team.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I will take. I'll take A&M to beat Tennessee. Florida will beat Mississippi State. And I'll take UK to beat Alabama.
Yep.
I got Auburn and Florida in the finals.
Got Tennessee in Florida.
Oh, you had Tennessee taking out Auburn. Oh, no, you took Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
I got Florida beating Auburn. Who do you have?
Got Tennessee
Ooh,
beating
all right.
Florida.
Tennessee going to make a move up the tournament line then. See where they are. All right, where are we going next? We got 5 minutes and we got 4 to do. You going Big East? Oh, no, you flipped Big East. What is that?
ACC.
ACC. Duke. Duke, I feel like because they got to play Georgia Tech because they won. I just don't see. I got Duke and Louisville in the finals.
I got. I got Clemson.
Okay. I got Duke winning it all. Like I said at the beginning, Duke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
same.
Cooper Flag. I mean, I like Coach K. I like some of the players they've had, but I don't like rooting for Duke, and I don't know why. I mean, hell, that's been proven. The last 2 years we've done the tournament show, I've picked them to lose the first round.
Mm-hmm. I love Cooper Flag. Big East.
Yes, Big East. All right. I will take. Ooh, that game's still on. Butler and Providence. I'll probably take Butler though.
No, Butler won.
Butler. Oh. All right. Thad Matta. So when we were talking during the A10, it was 8 minutes left. LaSalle and UMass were tied at 56. With 3 minutes left, they're tied at 66. So they've scored 10 points in 5 minutes. Let's see. I'll take DePaul to beat Georgetown. I'll take Nova to beat Seton Hall. Back up top. I'm sorry, but I like this St. John's team. I've watched a majority of their games, and I just like what Rick Pitino's doing.
Ain't it crazy? It's legal to pay players, and all of a sudden, Rick Pitino is at the top of the world again.
Can I get my 2013 title back then? I'll take Xavier over Marquette.
Yep.
I'll take Creighton over DePaul.
Yep. I'll tell you what. It's very unlucky for Creighton that this tournament happens in New York every year. Because if this was a tournament that took place at the top seeds home, they'd win it every year. Or the years that they got top seed, they'd win it. Because no one can beat Creighton in Creighton.
Right. I'm gonna go Nova over Connecticut. Let the madness start early.
That would be starting.
Let's see. Back up top. I'm gonna go St. John's.
I'm actually going Xavier. I think we got a good chance to beat them.
I'm gonna go Creighton.
And about 5 minutes ago, I was not going to make that pick.
What changed your mind?
I don't know. I think we got a good chance.
I'll go Creighton over Nova.
I got Creighton over UConn.
Okay, so we both got UConn losing. And then I'm going St. John's over Creighton. So you going Xavier over Creighton?
Yep.
All right. All right, what you get next?
Pac-12.
Big 12.
Big 12. There you go.
12. Not yet, Andy.
Next year.
All right, so let's see. The only ones I know that are final is Iowa State beats Cincinnati, and I believe Colorado beats TCU.
Cincinnati sucks. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
And Colorado beat TCU.
Beat West Virginia.
West Virginia.
How did you mix those two up?
Because they beat TCU in the first round, and I looked at TCU.
Okay.
I will take K-State at the bottom, and I will take Utah. I'll take Baylor to get all up to date onto the quarterfinals. So I will take Iowa State over BYU. I'll take Houston over Colorado, because you can't have the 16 seed going in, and I don't think they're going to beat Houston. I will take Texas Tech over Baylor and Kansas over Arizona.
Yeah, you've kind of had it down here a little bit.
They have. Back up top, I got Houston. I'll go Kansas in the finals, but Houston winning it all.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too off, unless Caleb hits a big shot. guess that leaves us with one.
The American. I don't even know why I printed this one off. I think I just hit print all on the buttons. All right, I guess I need to see who won between Charlotte and Rice. Not that it matters, because I'm not picking either of them to beat Florida Atlantic. Charlotte. All right, so I'll go Wichita over USF, Florida Atlantic. I'll go.
So who won that game?
Between Charlotte and Rice, it was Charlotte. I will go Temple, and then give me UTSA.
It's wild that Eastern Carolina and the University of Texas San Antonio are in the same conference.
I got Memphis beating North Texas to win it all.
Hey, so do I.
Future Pac-12 member?
I hope so, from what I heard. And they have a lot of students, too.
They do. All right, so while you finish that, I will look at one, see if Joe Lenardi changes his updates anymore. All right, he has not. So his last 4 teams in the tournament are Oklahoma, Indiana, Xavier, and Ohio State. First 4 out are, and he puts these in order, so the first team out would have been the 69th team. Boise State, North Carolina, Texas, Colorado State.
Isn't it crazy that 3 of my 4 favorite teams could be at the first 4?
3. Boise State, Xavier.
And Ohio State.
I keep forgetting you like Ohio State in basketball. That throws me off. And then anybody wondering, the next 4 out, Cincinnati, Wake Forest, UC Irvine, and then Dayton. No.
That would be so amazing if Ohio State, Boise State, and Xavier all made it, and UD,
so you're gonna have
UD and Cincinnati missed.
Oh,
that'd be amazing.
I was about to say you're gonna have the 2 12 seeds could be Battle of Ohio to go into the tournament.
Sure.
Xavier and Ohio State and Dayton and Cincinnati.
Wouldn't that have been something?
They need to do that. They need to go and do.
That'd be a nice 4-way tournament.
Well, I mean, you could do an Ohio tournament. You can throw in Wright State and you go up and get somebody from the MAC, I guess.
I don't know. Cleveland State's up there, but they're not MAC.
That's MAC. That's Horizon. But I think that will do it for this week's episode of Play by Play. Remind you to like, subscribe, and share the show on all social media platforms, and we'll be back next week for tournament time.
Yes, sir. See you guys then.